Right, so we are recording. Now I did actually write some questions.
Awesome.
So I'm Steve, but on Planet Mosh I go by the name Cookie. I had your album to review when it came out in September.
Yes,
I think
did
it was.
see that review.
And it absolutely blew me away. I loved it. I've been into heavy metal since I was a teenager. You know, I'm coming up 50 now. And I just thought it was fresh. It shows the metal's moving forward. You know, and I absolutely loved it. I give it 5 out of 5. One of the things I loved about it so much was the fact that every song, the lyrics were so thoughtful, and sort of each one told a story, and yet there was also this sort of an overall narrative through it, which was really nice.
Thank you.
So there's 2 ways that I can ask questions. I can either be really, really intelligent and go really, really deep.
Okay.
Or I can ask stupid questions. I'm much better at stupid questions than I'm at really deep ones. So if you're happy with that, we're going to go with some fun, silly questions.
Sure.
Okay.
Whatever you prefer.
Fine. I'm going to have to take my glasses off as well, because I can't read with my glasses on. So I'll actually put, before we get to the questions, a bit of housekeeping. You're playing Manchester tonight, and you're on to Bristol tomorrow.
Yes.
Then you're off into mainland Europe. And you're going all around Europe until just before Christmas?
Yes.
And you finish in Hungary on the 22nd.
Yes.
So do you go home for Christmas then?
Not home. I'm going to Montreal.
Right, okay. So
Because
going home with the band?
Going home with the band. Everyone else is going home except me.
Oh, no.
But it's fine, because Montreal, it's become a second home for me, basically, so it's totally okay.
So is home still Greece?
No, Chicago.
Chicago, is it now? Because you grew up in Greece, though?
I grew up in Chicago, then I moved to Greece.
Okay.
So my childhood was split up between the two, and then when I joined the band, I moved back to Chicago just because it's so much closer than Greece,
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So, on to the questions. I did 1 question for each song.
Okay.
The first track was In Vertigo. Talks about it's. Are you inspired by Alice in Wonderland?
Yes, that is what it was based off of.
Which is really cool. And it talks about her getting bigger and smaller.
Yeah.
So, if you were given a potion that can make you bigger or smaller, which would you go? Would you go big or would you go small? And what would you do with it?
Okay. Probably small, because if I went big, I wouldn't know where to go or what to do. I would just crush everyone, like, King Kong. So that wouldn't be fun. Smaller would be more interesting, I guess. Like that movie, 90s movie, Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, sort of thing. You just fit into a pocket and do whatever you want.
Like an ant.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, number 2. As One We Survive. I thought that would make a perfect song for a zombie movie.
Yes.
Although I think it's not directly like that, but it's about surviving. I just thought it would fit so well into like The Walking Dead or something like that. I love zombie movies. I love horror movies. What's your favourite film genre?
I don't have a favorite genre.
Do you have a favourite film?
Not just one, because I'm like a fanatic, and
Okay.
the way I approach movies and music as well is just like I find there's something good in every sort of genre. I just, what I look for is quality, so like I'm looking for something to pull me in. So I don't want to waste an hour and a half or 2 hours of my life just watching a movie with no story or no meaning or something behind it, so my absolute favorites just tend to usually be like dramas that are based off real life stories.
Okay.
Just because once you know that it actually happened, it just hits you a little bit harder. And especially if it's a exaggerated, crazy story, you're like, no way this happened in real life.
It's like, have you seen The Bank Job with Jason Statham?
No, I have not seen that one.
It's a totally true story, and it's so mad you could not believe it.
Yeah.
Involves breaking into a bank, involves the royal family. It's unbelievable. If you get a chance,
check it out.
watch it. if you ever talk about films, you might not even know what this means, but you should always say hello to Jason Isaacs when you talk about films.
Okay, will do.
And you can find out why, but you have to search that yourself.
Yeah.
I can't tell you.
Yeah, will
Okay.
do.
Next song is The Gift of Silence. In it, you talk about nature's red in tooth and claw.
Yeah.
Now that's a Lord Tennyson quote. Don't know whether you know that. And so I thought, what other famous Lord Tennyson quotes are there? There's also, it's better to have loved and lost than never to have loved at all.
Yes.
But I thought that was a bit too deep for me. So another one of his quotes is, knowledge comes but wisdom lingers. Have you learnt anything while you're on tour that has made you a wiser person?
Absolutely. The crazy thing about being on tour is that you're constantly moving and going into different countries, different cities, meeting different kinds of people, culture, all that, which in my experience I was kind of already doing from, living in the States, going to Greece, then Montreal, so I was already getting that experience a bit. But on tour you get it on a day-to-day basis, and it just teaches you, especially also touring with other bands, meeting new people, it teaches you that everyone is different. And I already knew this, but a big confirmation is that you should always be respectful of other people and how they are, because not everyone sees the world and things the way you do. And one, that, and two, that honesty is actually the best way to go about things. So if there's something that's bothering you, it's best to talk about it and be open about it. Don't let it, build up inside you and then one day you explode and you're a total asshole, So I think it just makes you maybe even grow up faster than a normal person would.
Yeah, that sounds really wise. Fair dues. Yeah, I'm impressed. Fair dues. Probably don't understand that, but there you go. The next song, Mr. Cold. Now I tried to do something clever with Mr. Cold, but I've missed out. Sorry.
That's okay.
Blood is my guide. Right. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. You say in it, if we stay strong, we can win any fight.
Yeah.
If you could fight anyone famous, who would it be? Now that's a Fight Club. That's a Fight Club quote. If you could fight somebody famous.
But I wouldn't, though. See, because fighting isn't really in my nature.
Good. I think that's a good quote.
Yeah.
I'd fight. I thought about it. C-3PO, because you could knock him to the ground and then just keep pummeling him, and he'd just keep going ow, and you could just do it for as long as you wanted. Or R2-D2, and you just push him over and laugh at no. Okay.
See, I took it a little too literal.
Why not? So, Mr. Cold.
Yes.
It's quite a creepy song. But when I heard Mr. Cold, I assumed he was one of the Mr. Men. Do you know who the Mr. Men are? Mr. Men and Little Misses? Children's book?
No.
Oh, see.
Actually, no, I have heard about it. I just haven't read it.
Maybe a little bit before your generation.
Yes.
They had characters like Mr. Tickle, Mr. Bump,
Yes.
Mr. Angry.
Yes.
So I was going to say, if you could be a Mr. Man, which Mr. Man or Little Miss is the female equivalent? Little Miss Shouty?
No, I'm not a shouty. Well, one joke that is always kind of comes from my last name, because it's Greek.
Yes.
And it actually, the literal meaning of it in English is little fish.
So you're Little Miss Fish?
I'm a little Miss Fish, I guess.
That's cool.
Yes.
Did you have a nickname? Was your nickname something like that?
Yes.
Like Fish or Fishy?
Yes, exactly.
That's why I'm Cookie. I've been Cookie since I was 3. The Cookie Monster.
Yes.
Because my surname's Cookson. So I've just been called Cookie Monster since I was 3.
There you go.
So that's my little bit. Next, Dust to Dust. The lyric was, the game was rigged right from the start, still I need to play. Do you play any sports or games? And if you do you ever cheat?
Good one. I don't play any group sports. I do work out a lot, just like yoga and CrossFit and whatever. Just those are one woman sports, I guess.
Do you run?
Yes.
Yeah.
I haven't done it in quite some time.
It's quite physical on stage for the minute, I would have thought, so.
Yes, there are times where I pick it up and then I go back. I switch it up a lot. And I do play games, more so when I was younger. Then, I had to focus more on music and all that. But what was the question again?
Do you cheat?
Do I cheat?
Have you ever? Do you cheat at cards?
No, I don't.
Ace of spades up your sleeve? No,
I don't cheat at cards. But I did when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Yes. When I was young and naive, thought I could get away with it.
Yeah.
You know?
Okay. Right. The devil made me do it. It says, "I'll take your unwillingness and make you crumble." Right. I love apple crumble. What's your favourite pudding? Told you I was silly.
Yes,
Yeah.
I really did not expect it to go there. Actually, apple crumble is pretty amazing.
Yeah, because I mean, the apple pie is a really famous American.
Yes.
You know, sort of the best apple pie is American, isn't it? You know.
Yeah.
But my mum's apple crumble back in the day was pretty special, and rhubarb crumble. Do you do
Yes,
rhubarb crumbles?
yes.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Cool. Okay. Just getting short on time, so I'll speed
worries.
it up. Next, the killing eye says, "I'm sick of all your preaching." Mm-hmm. Is there anything that you feel very strongly about that the other band members think you get a bit preachy about?
Preachy. I wouldn't say I get preachy, because going back to what I was talking about, being respectful and all that. But I do try to find a way to get my voice through without being, preachy. I would say, out of everyone in the band, not to put anyone down or anything, I tend to be the most perfectionist when it comes to like recording or performing or anything. Like every little mistake that I hear that I do or anyone does, it gets to me, and in a way that just like, not in a bad way, but in a way that like next time I'm going to try not to make that mistake, and that's the only way I think you can get better and better at what you do. So sometimes I try to hold back, like if I play a show and I hear other people's mistakes, I don't want to like attack them and be like, hey, you've messed this part up and that part, but I think that's my biggest pet peeve, sort of, but it can be good and it can be bad, I guess.
I think most guitarists at some point have to go, this is as good as I can do. Like, I live with a guitarist, him over there, right? And all I hear is, all the time as everything goes wrong for him, when he's trying to learn something, and you have to give up in the end, don't you, But to be honest, the way that your music's put together, they come across as perfectionists. All of you come across as perfectionists.
That's
because
good.
you seem to be putting so much of your heart and soul and everything into the music, like your vocal range is just crazy. It's like you thinking, right, you're doing this and then you go to another place, which is really quite special.
Thanks.
Right, this was supposed to be my most serious question, but I think I still fail. Orphans is the title track, and the lyrics reference fairy stories and nursery rhymes, but with a dark twist. I've also seen a video of you singing Little Mermaid. So,
nice.
Are you really a Disney princess in disguise? That's sort of the first part.
I do love my Disney movies.
You do love. I thought you might.
Yes.
And sort of the second part of that is that you have for years done YouTube videos where you're doing covers, and I've noticed you're still doing them. You did a Queen song last week, the week before, which was amazing.
Thank you.
Big Queen fan back in the day. Do you plan to carry on doing that?
Yes. I do. I don't know the frequency of it, but yes, I do plan on uploading anything I can think of, or take fans' consideration. Fans' requests into consideration.
Oh, in that case, I want some Iron Maiden. Yeah.
Sure.
Have you done any Iron Maiden?
I've done one.
Oh, have you? Which one did you do?
Clairvoyant.
Did you? Oh,
yeah.
Clairvoyant, I love that.
It was a long time ago, though, I must say.
Right,
It was 5-6
that
years
one.
ago.
Yeah.
But I do plan on doing more because they're one of my favorite bands.
Yeah, that was the Seventh Son album was the album that I discovered Maiden on in '88. Bought it the day that it came out.
Awesome.
Bought the ticket for Donington Monsters of Rock in '88.
Cool.
Guns N' Roses were there, and it was crazy.
Awesome.
So okay, last question. I burn it all down. Says, for no matter what crimes were revealed, every man deserves a final meal. So if you were heading for the hangman's noose, think of Hallowed Be Thy Name. Yeah.
Yes.
What would be your last meal?
That is so hard because I'm a foodie. Like nuts.
Yes, it's got to be one meal. It can't be several.
It can't be several.
No.
I think I would keep it simple. a good old American burger.
Yeah, no, that's fine. And what do you think crime you would have committed? Murdered the band members?
No, not the band members, but see, and I would never be hung for a crime like this, but
No.
I could murder someone in self-defense. You know?
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, it does happen.
That's the only, like, I don't see a need to steal anything or to assault anyone, but if it's self-defense, push comes to shove, you gotta survive. So.
All right. Well, thank you very much. Really appreciate it.
Thank you.
I'm hopefully going to be taking pictures during the show, so I'll make sure that I'm there. I'll take some good shots, and hope it goes brilliant for you tonight.
Thank you so much.
Very much.
Nice meeting you. And
could I just have a little picture with you?
Sure.
Just so
Yes.
I can.